The Filipina you're talking to online right now might be the love of your life, or she might be the reason you end up stuck in a local police station with an empty bank account. For years, I've warned you about the dangers of online dating, but I know the reality. For most men moving to or visiting the Philippines, the internet is your primary gateway. The pain point many of you face is the paralyzing uncertainty of not knowing if the Filipino on the other side of the screen is genuine or a sophisticated actor playing a long game. You are looking for a partner, but you are often treated like a walking ATM. In this video, I am moving past the don'ts and giving you a tactical reality-based roadmaps. We will address exactly how to navigate these waters without losing your shirt, your dignity, or your passport. This isn't about generalization. It's about the documented risks and cultural nuances of the Philippines that most travel vlogs conveniently ignore. Phase 1, redefining the online stage. The first thing you must accept is that talking to a Filipino on a screen is not dating. You are in a data collection phase. If you tell yourself you're dating someone you haven't touched or shared a meal with, you trigger a psychological bias called idealization. Research in the Journal of Computer Mediated Communication suggests that people often fill in the gaps of online personas with qualities they desire, rather than what is actually there. If I were in your shoes, I would be talking to multiple Filipinas. This isn't about being a player, it's about objective comparison. You can't be faithful to a dating profile. By engaging with several Filipinas, you prevent yourself from becoming prematurely hyper-focused on one Filipina who hasn't earned your exclusivity. Phase 2, pattern recognition and emotional distance. You need to talk to her every day, but you must remain emotionally detached. High-frequency communication allows you to spot inconsistencies. If she disappears for days without a logical explanation or her stories of her daily life don't add up, you must be or you might be dealing with someone who manages several clients. Pay close attention to how she discusses her problems. In many cases, a Filipino might indirectly mention a sick relative, a broken phone, a tuition balance. This is often a soft ask. She isn't demanding money yet, but she is testing boundaries if you would offer. The moment the conversation shifts toward financial assistance, you know your answer. If you spot a red flag now, you walk away. The sunk cost fallacy is what ruins most men. They think they've invested so much time that they have to see it through. Don't fall for it. Phase 3, the hardline on financials. Let's be extremely clear. If I were you, I would never send a single dollar during this stage, not for a medical emergency, not for data load, and not for a birthday gift. The moment you send money, the power dynamic of the relationship shifts from a potential partnership to a transaction. In the Philippines, there is a cultural concept known as utang na loob or a debt of gratitude. But in foreign dating, it is often weaponized. If you start as a provider, you will never be seen as a partner. You are verifying her character, and a Filipino of high character will not ask a man she has not met yet in person to solve her financial problems for her. Phase 4, beyond the screen, family and video calls. When you video call, do not settle by just seeing her face. Ask to see her environment and eventually meet her family via the call. This is vital for you to see the family dynamic. Does the family seem to be waiting for a savior, or does the family live in a stable and independent life? If the family is overly involved in the digital courtship, or she seems to be hesitant to show her home life, it's a sign of a curated reality. Seeing her family in their natural environment provides context that words cannot. Phase 5, the legal reality, CENOMAR and marriage laws. If I were in your shoes, I would eventually address a reality many foreign men overlook: the legal marital status. You have to understand that divorce does not exist for the majority of Filipinos. A Filipina might tell you she is single or separated, but legally she may still be married. Under the revised Penal Code of the Philippines, getting involved with a Filipina who is technically married can expose a man to charges of adultery or concubinage. To protect myself, I would ask for a PSA issued CENOMAR, which stands for Certificate of No Marriage Record. It is a factual government issued document. If she is genuine, she will understand that you are performing due diligence. If she becomes defensive or starts making excuses about why she cannot get this document, that is a factual red flag that you are dealing with a legal complication you would not want to inherit. Phase 6: protecting your assets, property, and prenups. You need to understand the reality of asset protection in this country. If I were you, I would never buy a land or a house under the assumption that it belongs to me. Under the 1987 Philippine Constitution, foreigners generally are prohibited from owning a land. If you buy a house for your Filipino girlfriend, her name and only her name will be on the title. If the relationship ends, you have zero claim on that property. Furthermore, if you're considering marriage, a prenuptial agreement is not just a suggestion, it's a necessity. In the Philippines, without a prenup, the default property regime is the absolute community of property, which means everything you own before the marriage and everything you acquire after becomes a joint property. If I were in your shoes, I would have these legal conversations early to see if she is more interested in the person or in the property. Phase 7: the first visit, safety protocol. If she passes the talking stage and you decide to fly to the Philippines, do not declare yourself in a relationship yet. You are here to verify the digital data in the physical world. Where you stay is the most critical safety decision you will make. Do not stay in her family home. While it seemed like a genuine experience, it creates a massive obligation. Families may expect that you will fund welcome parties or send off parties. In some rural areas, once you stay under their roof, the community views you as the primary financial resource. You are the guest, but then you're expected to pay for the privilege of being welcomed. Phase 8: protecting your person and status. Equally important, you should not let her stay in your hotel room. This might sound harsh, but it is a matter of documented safety. There are several reports from the Philippine National Police or PNP where foreigners wake up to find their cash, their credit cards, and their passport gone. Without your passport, you are stuck. You become the distressed foreigner. Furthermore, and this is a risk many foreigners overlook, do not fall into the trap of helping out with her family business or her online work while you are here on a tourist visa, because the Bureau of Immigration or BI and the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE are incredibly strict. Even if you aren't receiving a salary, but performing a productive work that could be done by a local could be seen as a violation of your visa conditions. If an immigration officer or a disgruntled neighbor reports you for working at her family's store or managing her social media accounts, you will face immediate deportation, pay heavy administrative fines, and and you become a permanent blacklist in our country. If I were you, I would remain strictly a tourist. Keep your documents in a hotel safe that only you can access and maintain your own private space. Phase 9: the rich foreigner myth. The most important rule for your survival and success is this: do not act rich. There is a pervasive stereotype in the Philippines that every foreigner is a millionaire. If you show up wearing expensive watches, talking about your investments, and throwing away your money, you're painting a target on your back. You will attract gold diggers and professional scammers while intimidating modest, genuine Filipina you were actually looking for. Be honest about your means. Most of the world lives in the middle class, and you should too. If she loves you for the perceived depth of your pockets, she doesn't love you. Finding love in the Philippines is possible, but it requires a level of pragmatism most men leave at the airport. You must be the CEO of your own life, vetting every candidate the same scrutiny you would do or you would use for a business partner. By staying in a hotel, keeping your finances private, and recognizing patterns of manipulation early, you protect yourself from becoming a cautionary tale. I've given you the roadmap that I would use if I were in your shoes, from the CENOMAR check to the strict rules on your hotel and visa. But knowledge is only power if you use it. I want to know, which one of my advice have you actually done before, and which one are you going to start doing today? Leave a comment below because your experience might help the next man who is about to change or about to make a life changing mistake. If you're ready to start looking for your future Filipino wife, you need to know who you are looking for and where they actually spend their time. You need to understand the 7 types of Filipinas foreign men look for and the exact places where you can find each of them. I break it all down in this video right here. Once again, my name is Art and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.